Okay, we're going to start with N7. Let's take a look at that real quick. Okay, so this time we're looking at the cosine, and cosine starts at 1, goes to 0, down to negative 1, to 0, to 1. Okay, that would be 1 period. It's in 2 pi. Okay, different than the sine function. Remember, the sine started at 0, went to 1. Alright, but otherwise, everything else is the same. If they change the amplitude, that's the A. No, this the amplitude here is 1. If they change the period, this is 2 pi. Remember, we would take this term in front of x, divide 2 pi by that, and that gives you the period. If it shifts up or down, this midline, in this case the x-axis, moves up or down. And then there's the phase shift. We haven't seen one of those problems yet. Maybe we won't, I don't know. And that just moves it over, maybe we start pi over 2. Maybe it moves over that far. Starts up here, but we'll see. Let's do some problems, and then we'll see if that can help you. So we're looking at N7. Okay. Let me get such stuff. All right, here we go. N7. It says write the cosine function. Okay. All right. So remember how the cosine function started at 1, went to 0, and down to negative 1. So this is inverted. So this starts at negative 1. So this is going to have a negative A value, okay, amplitude. And the amplitude is 1. So we're going to have just negative and be the cosine. Okay, from here to here is 1 complete cycle before it repeats itself. So that's 2 pi. So that's normal. So we're just going to have x. And there's no phase shift. And it didn't go up or down, so that's it. Try that out. Oh. Okay, submit. There we go. Alright. This one isn't giving us as big of a jump as that last one. Okay, here we go. Cosine. Looking at this one actually goes from 1 to 0 to negative 1 to 0 to 1. So this is a good normal 1, okay? It starts at 1, so A is going to be 1. We're just going to leave that off. The period, before it repeats itself, is 2 pi, so we're just going to put x in there. Did not shift up or down, okay? So there is no D, and C is normal, so try it. Alright. Okay. Looking at this one, the amplitude is 2, okay? It starts high at positive, okay, and it completes in a normal 2 pi period, so I'm going to go 2 cosine, and it didn't phase shift, so there is no C, and it didn't move up or down, so there is no D. So we're just going to go 2 cosine x. Okay, we get to one we have to actually change something. We'll write it down. Alright. Okay, so this is definitely going to shift off of the x-axis. So let me draw a little medium line in here. Okay, so here's our midpoint line. Okay. So that tells me this shifted up 4. So there's our D term. Okay, plus 4. Alright. It goes up half and down half off this line. See, it doesn't go all the way to 5, it goes half. So that's going to be my amplitude. Okay, and this starts off positive, 0 goes down, so it's going to be a positive number. So A is going to be 1/2. Okay, and the period from here till it repeats itself is 3 pi. Okay, so this is the same formula. 2 pi divided by B, okay, 2 pi is my normal period, equals whatever this new period is. It's 3 pi. Okay, so if I just switch those around, or cross multiply, or however you want to solve this times this equals this times this, and divide, I'm going to get B equals 2 pi divided by 3 pi, which is going to be 2/3. Alright, so we're ready to punch that in. And we'll see how that goes, okay? When I was listening to this, it's not very loud, so we'll see. Alright, so we'll put a fraction in there. We got 1/2. Okay, we got the cosine. We want to go 2/3 x. Okay. and it's shifted up 4. Alright, let's try that out. So far so good. Let's try this out here now. We're only to 36, done 4 problems. The sine one jumped way faster. Alright, here we go, cosine. Looking at this, it's shifted up, right? Okay. Alright, so it looks like my midline, okay, my midline is right here. It's at 5. So there's my D. Shifted up 5. Okay. It looks like it's a half above and a half below, so that's going to be my amplitude. Okay, that's A. Starts up above, so that's good. We don't have to do a sign change here. From one period to the next, or from, before it repeats itself, is 4 pi. So 2 pi over B equals 4 pi. Okay? So we can switch those around. So B is going to be 2 pi over 4 pi, which would be a half. So B is equal to 1 half. Okay, so that's what I'm putting right there. Alright, and there isn't a shift because this starts exactly where we would think it is. Okay, it starts at 0. X equals 0. Alright. If it started somewhere over here, then we would have a phase shift in here, and we wouldn't mess with that if we get one of those. Alright. There's a couple ways you can do it. If you get it wrong, they do show you a nice way where they just plug in some values and then you solve for that C and you get it. So, alright, let's try this. We've got 1 half, okay, cosine of, this is 1 half, 2 half. Make sure we get that X in there. And then we shift it up 5. Alright. Let's try it. Okay. So you can see that this is just, it's the same thing. I'm doing the same thing I did with the sine stuff, except for I'm using the cosine, okay? Here I'm going to start off, I'm going to find my midline, okay? So this looks like it shifts down 1. Okay, it starts above, so I don't have to do a sign change with A. They like that half, don't they? So it looks like it's an amplitude of a half. Okay, so we'll go 1 half cosine, and from here to here is 2 pi, so we're just going to have X. We don't have to change anything. Okay, so there we go. Alright, let's try this. 1 half. Okay, cosine of X, and then we're going to go minus 1. Let's see, I'm in the dark right now on my computer. Alright, let's try that. Okay, boom, got it. Alright, let me, I didn't get one wrong in the last one, so let me just get one wrong here. Let's just say cosine X, okay? And then let's just look at this for a second. Get it wrong, boom. Now, they tell us what all these things mean. See, here's the 2 pi over P. Here's the amplitude. Y equals D is the midpoint line, the horizontal distance. Cuts it in half. The D is the vertical shift. Okay, vertical shift. Alright, and then they show you how they find each part. Okay, so take advantage of this. I know that sometimes it doesn't, you don't want to read all this stuff, but it really does tell you exactly how to fix this. Okay. Oh, this is actually good. Notice here the vertical shift. Right here. Look at the vertical shift. Okay. Oh yeah, there wasn't any. But when we start here, see how it didn't start at. Oh yeah, I did. I could use that. Never mind. It's still gonna be fine. We subtract C, yeah. This shows you how they do a shift. If it did shift over, which we're not worrying about that right now, but you would just plug in some values. See how they have X is pi over 4, okay? and y is 0. And then everything else is plugged in because you found those other things. So you just solve for this c value. Well, right here, if we did that, the cosine of this is 1, and it's going to end up being c equals 0. So there's nothing there. Okay, good luck.